So-called football fans on the rampage, smashing up anything in their path.
I've been working football matches at Leeds United for 24 years now, and that is the biggest confrontation that I've seen in that time.
They think their numbers are too great for the police to arrest them. But each job is being captured by CCTV.
Who threw that traffic cone in the area, did you see? Yeah.
Tonight, a CCTV City special, we wade into football violence with the very latest technology. A state-of-the-art video van.
What's he doing on the back of that car? Oh my God.
A £4 million police helicopter.
X-ray 99, you've got windows going out on the third bus now.
And frontline police camera crews.
Whatever happens, wherever, CCTV is there to capture it on camera.
For the majority of Leeds fans, this is a football mecca. By and large, games are a fun family day out, and that's thanks largely to CCTV.
Well, certainly the spread of CCTV has helped curb the activities of the infamous hooligan gangs. Now here in Leeds, it was the United Service Crew, a notorious gang of violent thugs who took their name from the trains they used to get to the ground. Now they're history now. But there are plenty more wannabes keen to create a name for themselves by creating some more mayhem.
Hooligans used to think they could get away with it, and they often did. Picking out the guilty ones amongst the chaos is never easy. CCTV footage provides vital evidence ensuring justice is done.
Intelligence gathering with CCTV is very important because we can build a picture over a number of matches of who's with who and what they're doing and where they go, and we get a first-rate idea of what happened.
Violence can erupt anywhere, and CCTV needs to be mobile. This £100,000 van follows trouble wherever it goes.
This is one of the key weapons in the battle against football hooliganism. Now, what tools do you have at your disposal?
At my disposal, I've got several cameras in and around the van. I've got a couple of cameras on each of the wing mirrors, so if anyone is rocking the van, I'd have a picture of them. And then I've got the two high-spec cameras on top of the van itself, one of which can be extended to 5 metres from the ground, so I can get a good overview of what's happening in and around the van. I've then got a automatic number plate recognition system over there, which if I point my camera at a registration plate and that vehicle is linked to crime, that computer will actually shout up and let me know so.
Today, Tranmere are in town and the police aren't expecting any trouble. But the real heavy hooligan day out was when Millwall came to town. And then CCTV cities were on hand to catch all of the action, all of the way.
10 a.m. match day. Elland Road is the venue for today's clash with Millwall. This is the calm before the storm. The rivalry between these fans is legendary.
I think it's fair to say there's a history between Leeds and Millwall. It goes back a long way, longer than I care to remember really.
At HQ, the police are on high alert.
Morning everybody, welcome to Millgar.
Intelligence reports have given this game a Category C rating. Category C means violence is almost inevitable.
Right, we have everyday members of the public going to these matches. Treat people fairly. Be firm if required. I anticipate we will have to be firm with the Millwall supporters and be friendly to supporters.
So we've got the Millwall supporters coming into Leeds, we've got the Leeds supporters already in Leeds. We cannot afford for them to get together.
This is what can happen if rival fans meet. Filmed by a police helicopter, the hooligans are brawling and throwing missiles in an estate near to the ground.
They can be quite violent towards each other, serious injuries can occur, but it gets other people, members of the public get swept into it. They may be fighting, but it's affecting everybody else around.
It's a problem Chief Inspector Bennett is determined to stamp out.
Don't allow them to escape. Right, we need to control them. We cannot afford for these two different groups to mix. Remember, CCTV is in use with our own teams, with the Leeds Watch CCTV, and obviously with the camera crews that's filming today. Your actions will be recorded.
Coming up, it's chaos as police battle to keep the fans apart. Cops calling help from above as CCTV goes aerial.
Now we've got trouble on Wesley Street. They're having to go at dog handlers. That's trouble bottom end of Wesley Street.
It's nearly time for kick-off at Leeds versus Millwall. Elland Road is alive with home fans waiting for Millwall supporters to arrive. It looks like they want to give them a warm reception. They're not the only ones waiting for Millwall. In Leeds city centre, there are 350 police officers on duty and ready for the day ahead. A train with 600 Millwall fans is expected at any moment.
Kick off about, well, the match will kick off about 3 o'clock. I'll choose my words carefully.
I think a lot of the shoppers who sort of came to Leeds were a bit sort of dubious about why there were so many police about. But as soon as I mentioned it's Leeds versus Millwall, the natural reaction was, oh, right.
The police are making no secret that the fans will be on CCTV.
So it's our best time for getting our best footages before the match. If subsequently later in the day they're involved in disorder, we can start identifying from the haircuts, from the facial hair, from the tattoos, from the clothing, and we've got it all in the bag.
On their way, more police with cameras. They're called spotters. They know who the troublemakers are. They're scouring the area around the station, looking especially for Leeds fans. The most dangerous fans have been labelled the Leeds risk.
The Leeds risk is basically what we call them, the people that are going to cause the trouble, cause the damage and cause the sort of disruption, disorder on the day. My role as a spotter is to try and pick out the risk group, where they are, who they're with, what they're wearing, any intelligence I can gather on them.
The Millwall fans are here. The cops have a plan. Surround them and keep them all together.
It was decided by the commanders on the day to lodge them in a local pub near to the railway station. By keeping them together, we try and reduce the number of problems that it may cause for us further down the line.
The police line is also there to deter any troublemakers that the spotters might catch.
Yeah, we've got Danny McEwen just outside Burger King, practically 20 metres from where the Millwall fans are going to be coming out of the train station, currently on his mobile phone. He's
a known Leeds hooligan sizing up the opposition. He could be calling others to let them know where they are.
It's a bit like a war. You're sending out your scouts to find out, to let the generals know how many of the opposition are there.
It's only 800 yards from the station to the pub, but CCTV can see more people on phones.
I'm sure some of the Millwall supporters contacted the Leeds to say we were arriving on this train.
Anyone straying from the Millwall herd will be easy meat for the Leeds risk.
You want to get in that group then? Well, come on, get in this group. With accents like that, you'll be picked off straight away, yeah? With accents like that, everyone will know where you're from, yeah?
Down the road, someone else is watching the crowds. Not the Hooligans this time. It's Paul and his mobile CCTV van.
What I'm doing at the moment is I'm just having a look around the entire area with my camera on its mast to make sure, you know, I've looked at everything that's going on. Meanwhile, the other camera, I've got it strategically positioned on those two open windows that the Millwall fans open. So one of them actually pretending to throw a bottle out at the time, and I thought, you know, pretending to do it might actually turn into doing it later, so better keep an eye on it just in case.
The police want to make sure it's only Millwall fans who get access to the pub.
Well, you can't go in Yates's because it's closed. Is it?
Yeah, it's full of Millwall fans, so you can't go in.
Oh, it's full of Millwall.
You can't go in.
Well, they ought to bloody get out and let Leeds come in.
Across the road from the pub, Paul's cameras are picking up danger.
We seem to have a lot of Leeds fans outside shouting and singing, trying to goad them.
The crowd is now big enough to provoke the Millwall fans. This is exactly what they want, a confrontation before the game has even started. The police hold firm to keep the two sets of fans apart.
No, I'm not arguing, just keep moving, all right?
The CCTV van has its work cut out. Paul is busy capturing the faces of those who seem to be causing the trouble.
I take my cues from the police spotter because he knows exactly who to look for. I mean, obviously if there's a fight going on in front of me, I know to film that, but as far as individuals are concerned, the police spotters know a lot better than I do.
John, that way, lad, that way. Come on, no, with him. John, you are. If you're over here today, right over there.
A police photographer is also on hand to take close-up mugshots.
Get off my back. All right, well, give me a break. Yeah.
All this surveillance technology will save the police from making huge numbers of arrests on this, a busy and chaotic day.
We will review that footage, identify offenders who are causing the most serious offences, and then from that we'll make an arrest, and that will be used as part of the evidence for a prosecution against them.
The first phase on match day is to get the Millwall fans safely into the football ground 2 miles away. The police have organised buses. The Leeds fans are just across the road. Millwall fans are now out in the open.
It was the most tense part of the operation, was getting them on the buses in the city centre. That's when there's going to be possibly a flashpoint with the Leeds supporters watching, taunts going in, threats, verbal abuse towards each other. We had enough officers there, we had the mounted officers and the dogs that'll keep them apart. We got them onto the buses and prevented any conflict there.
I'm telling you, get back!
Millwall are safely on their way. But they're heading towards even more Leeds fans at the ground. The CCTV van needs to find a good vantage point. And it's only going to get more crowded.
With that masked up, then we get a decent image of this side now.
I can only control one camera at a time, so what I'll do is I'll set the other camera up in a strategic position.
Position's everything. There's no point being parked behind a bush shelter where every time you pan round, a bush shelter's blocking the way.
The Millwall buses are here. The Leeds fans are getting excited. Something is going on, but Paul in the video van can't see what. The crowd is too dense for them to get near. The police are looking to the sky for help.
Yes, can we just have your...
A police helicopter fitted with a long-range CCTV camera.
X-ray 992, PMA 13.
Police in the chopper can see what's going on.
X-ray 99, you've got windows going out on the third bus now.
Thugs throwing missiles.
The third bus right at the junction Wesley Street.
Wrecking the buses, and now the Millwall fans are joining in.
They saw the Leeds fans, the red mist descended, they started smashing their own buses up and kicking the windows out, and the Leeds fans reacted to that as well.
The buses have now arrived. You can see numerous windows smashed. Obviously they've been trying to storm off the bus, they've had to be pushed back onto it.
High above the chaos, the bird's eye view will be crucial for getting the fans off the buses.
The police helicopter's a fantastic piece of equipment. It's the all-seeing eye. It helps us deploy our staff. It helps us prevent further problems, and it's a tool that we can't do without now.
Yeah, now we've got them on video putting a bus window through It's on the
sorry, to get
fourth
the
bus along. There's a chap there with a white t-shirt on and a white sort of sweatshirt top.
These fans don't like being on camera at all. They're even having a go at our film crew.
Some of these risk elements aren't what you would expect them to be. Some are juvenile, some are youths, but a lot are people that's older, that's in employment, they are middle-aged men. It's extraordinary really that people with good careers, good lives, can degenerate to this sort of behaviour.
Only a line of police vans now separate the fans.
Right, are you alright just parking a bit further up here so they can see that that camera's going to film down the side of it? We're just asking the CCTV van now to move in so that the fans can see that they're being filmed. It's obviously the biggest deterrent. Once we've got them on film and we're watching them, they don't want to be caught on camera doing anything because they know ultimately we can use it for any post-match inquiries.
Police are doing their best to keep the fans apart. With tempers on a knife edge, it doesn't take much to tip them over.
Instead of having a nice escort into the ground, the escort stopped being an escort and became a public order incident.
X-99 heads ground working to Elland Road control.
There's a bit of trouble at the ground. If you can put a hold on the bus.
Wrong spot, you wrong spot.
Yeah, I am.
There are cameras everywhere, and the fans know it.
The Millwall fans saw the van and maybe were wary about being caught on film doing anything and actually stopped what they were doing.
The first phase, getting the Millwall fans into the ground, is nearly complete. But there have been casualties. The buses.
The mindless yobs and vandals on board the buses have just absolutely trashed them for no reason whatsoever.
How the Millwall fans will get back to the station is anyone's guess.
I think if you say it set the tone for the rest of the afternoon, the bus windows going through, it did. And we knew that if we were going to deal with them on the way out, that it probably we were going to get the same response.
For most fans, it's the action on the pitch that's got their attention. The police are more interested in the rivalry off the field.
Obviously a lot of animosity going on between the two sets of supporters, a lot of verbal abuse. At one point the Millwall fans tried to charge towards the Leeds supporters, but we managed to prevent them coming together.
Units, please translate in. The match is now over. The match is finished with a win for Leeds by 4 goals to 2.
4:45, the game is over, a 4-2 win for Leeds. Now starts the second phase of the police operation, and also the most difficult.
Gentleman being pushed away now.
Yeah.
We've had problems with him outside the south stand previously today.
They must get the Leeds fans away from the ground before they can let the Millwall fans go.
The commanders made the decision based on all the disorder that had taken place to hold the Millwall fans inside the ground to naturally let the Leeds fans disperse.
Most supporters leave the game and go home peacefully.
Hey!
But if there is Leeds risk in the area, things can get ugly. This is footage of Leeds rioters after a game against Cardiff City in 2005. Filmed by a police spotter, this shows how quickly violence can erupt.
We try and maintain a line because it's numbering strength, to move the fans away. If needs be, we use horses and mounted and dogs.
They were slowly driven back. But it didn't all go according to plan.
Sometimes a couple of officers get drawn out or somehow they get isolated, and that's when the pack can smell blood. And the crowd, although they're coming forward together, not one of them probably wanted to get hit by a baton.
During this confrontation, the police prevented Leeds fans from getting anywhere near their rivals. Today, the plan is the same. but it's not going that well.
Keep moving, please. Keep moving.
The mood has changed, and they don't seem to care that they're on camera anymore.
Can you move, please? Can you keep moving? Can you keep moving? Can you keep moving? Yeah? How many times do I need asking?
Behind this gate, the Millwall supporters have been locked into the ground until it's safe to leave. In the video van, Paul's cameras are monitoring the rising tension.
Just watching this lot here now, one would expect that they're going to start throwing bricks or traffic cones in a minute, you never know.
The eye in the sky can see more danger heading towards the ground. These fans have left the game early. They're now heading back towards the stadium. Police are worried it will lead to trouble.
A group of about 15 of them, they're now coming back towards the traffic light junction.
The cops know what's coming. They're well prepared.
Just hold your lines. We're going to form a box at this point.
The majority, 99.99% of the Leeds supporters, they come, they pay quite a lot of money to watch a game of football. They enjoy the game of football, or they don't. They go home and move on. There's some people, it's more than football. It's not about watching your team. I don't even think sometimes the result matters. The score is a score to settle, not what happens on the pitch.
The battle lines are drawn. Coming up,
Look out!
missile madness as the hooligans capture a bridge, and innocent motorists come under attack.
What are you doing on the back of that car? Oh my God!
Leeds Football Club is the scene of a major pitch battle. Not on the playing field, but outside the ground. Leeds supporters are rioting, trying to get at Millwall fans locked in the stadium. In the way, a thin line of police officers.
They turned their anger onto the police. If there'd have been less officers there, I'm sure that more officers would have been injured trying to prevent that disorder and prevent the two sets of supporters coming together.
In the thick of it, a CCTV van catching the troublemakers on camera.
In there, sort of middle Wesley Street now at the junction.
And above it all, a police helicopter watching hooligans heading towards the ground.
And now we've got them on video, the rear of Wesley car park A.
The classic football hooligans are known to the police as the Leeds Risk.
Far of the Leeds Risk there.
They've left the game early, and a few might not even have gone to the match.
The risk element, a lot of time turn up at the end of the match because they're not interested in the match. They're not interested in football. They don't follow their team and hope that they win on a weekly basis. They follow a team for trouble.
Police HQ are monitoring all the pictures from the helicopter. Officers in charge can see that the dog squad are needed.
That's the group we're on about. They've got 3 dog handlers with them now. And you've still got quite a large group on Wesley Street itself, just above car parks A and B. Still looking back down towards the junction. They might want dispersing a little bit further back.
The Leeds Risk and other fans encouraged by them are regrouping just 50 metres from the ground. And they aren't taking kindly to the police dogs. One hooligan even takes a swing.
And now we've got trouble on Wesley Street. They're having to go at dog handlers. That's trouble bottom end of Wesley Street.
Now the dogs are biting back.
But they have been dispersed quite quickly now by the dog handlers.
And they're really making a meal of it.
He grabbed hold of the dog handler in panic. So because the dog man couldn't pull away, he couldn't get his dog off him. Therefore, he suffered more injury. The Leeds United Risk supporters had rushed forward, kicking, punching, just trying to attack a dog, which to me is just just a no-no.
It's not just the Leeds risk causing trouble.
Go across over to that far side and then try and get round the other side.
Back at the ground, the CCTV van is capturing more disorder.
Start moving here. Yeah.
The young kid.
That traffic cone a minute ago, did you see?
Yeah, I can see him. He's walking up Wesley Street now. He's a young kid. He's got his arms out.
He's got his arms out.
He's pointing at horses now.
Oh, in lights off. This is where CCTV really comes into play. Because of the power of the cameras, we can see so far that we can get good shots of the people that are committing these offences.
He's walking up Wesley Street with his hands.
Someone's just inside the van anyway.
The coppers in the chopper can see another group of people approaching. They think these might be coming back to the stadium.
And there's now a team of them walking back onto the thin strip car park.
Their numbers are swelling.
It's starting to go crazy here.
The situation is getting too dangerous. It's time to bring in the cavalry.
X-ray 99, we've got quite a lot of missiles now down by McDonald's. We've been videoing it away.
You don't stand still when there's a horse coming towards you. You know, even the most drunk man realises it's time to turn around and go the other way rather sharpish.
We'd be advising NATO elements from here. I think there's a lot of missiles coming at officers.
Behind police lines, a safe area is opening up. A sanctuary for those who don't want to be involved in the violence, even if some wish they were.
Well, to tell you the truth, I think it's fantastic because it's the atmosphere, it's the buzz. If I ain't got my little one with me, then I'd be wheel. It's only for his safety I'm sat here. I don't promote violence, but you've got to stick together.
The Millwall fans have stuck together, but not through choice. They've been trapped in the stadium for 45 minutes and are now getting restless.
They're still sat in the stands. We're having real problems trying to clear a sterile area.
The further away from the stadium the fans are pushed, the more things they're finding to throw at police.
The missiles were coming, there was rubble being thrown from roadsides. They went into the VW garage where a number of wheel trims were taken off cars on the forecourt, and these were thrown like frisbees towards police lines.
Get some of these stragglers outside VW garage.
Despite the police being outnumbered, they're making some progress.
Yeah, thanks to efforts of Mounted, they've managed to get them right up now to the Little Town Lane footbridge over the M621 where there's a large crowd gathering.
The police plan is to get them on the other side of the motorway. The only crossing point is a footbridge.
We're pushing them away from Elland Road, but they're just going to the flyover across the 621 to another pub. Just watch your back, watch your back. Watch out!
Making any arrests now is too dangerous. It's crucial that Paul gets good pictures of the offenders so they can be identified and arrested later.
No, did you get a decent picture of his face when he threw it?
From what distance, you think?
Could you zoom in on him? Like he ain't thrown out now, but can you zoom in on him and get him now?
There's a large group on the Little Town Lane footbridge though.
The battle is reaching a critical point. If the police can get them over the bridge, the motorway will provide a barrier between them and the Millwall fans.
Are you able to assist with that one, over?
But this brings new dangers.
Put yourself at amazing pedal. If you fall off that, you fall onto a motorway, you will definitely die.
Your location, please, 3 Sierra.
It's also a danger for the traffic underneath it. I mean, throwing stuff at police, you know, you can hurt us, but throw something off a motorway bridge at a moving car, you can kill people.
Paul's video van can keep a cool eye on proceedings while the cops take the heat. He's watching out for two fast food vendors who don't look like they'll be getting any business today. But one hooligan looks desperate for a burger and leaps onto the van.
What's he doing on the back of that car? On that trailer, have you seen him knocking up? Oh my God! There was one point at which I had to do a double take, and which is where my digital recording equipment came into play, so I could rewind and actually look and confirm that I had seen what I thought I'd seen. The vehicle quickly picked up so much speed that he was unable to actually get off, and the last I saw of me was flying round the corner onto the bridge at about 30 miles an hour.
There are more headaches for the police. The Millwall fans have been kept at the ground for over an hour, and now they can't even get transport for them. The bus company aren't happy about their buses being smashed up before the game.
The bus company didn't react right well. I think it was quoted about £10,000 for the damage caused, plus the fact that the buses are off the road.
Yeah, no worries. I think obviously they're going to walk them back because the buses have refused to pick them up.
Marching 600 tired, angry Millwall fans on a 2-mile journey will be a nightmare and impossible to do until the police have captured the bridge.
They're running out of things to throw while they're up there. They can look in the pocket for all they can find, but they've only got so much ammunition. There's no great mounds of bricks or anything up there. The idea is then to get ourselves into a position where in one push we can go clean over the motorway and then take the bridge.
Another dilemma for the police. Their helicopter is out of fuel and must return to base.
We have got some pictures, some evidence of these culprits throwing the missiles. Obviously, it may be that you have to come and collect it, or we can.
They'll have to make this crucial charge without aerial cover.
Let them go first, please.
As the police go forward, they don't want to get caught, they don't want to get hit by a baton, they don't want arrested, so they just ran.
Gone into that residential area, which basically is just rows and rows of terrace houses. It's like a rabbit warren. Once they're in there, they can go everywhere.
Once they're away from the bridge, that is ours. We will guard the bridge and we will not let them get back across. They get back across, they're 2 or 3 minutes away from the ground again. Get them across the bridge, then you're talking a half-a-mile detour around to get back to the ground.
The police have managed to persuade the bus company to help out.
If you want to get to the car park or the official coaches, over there!
They will reluctantly ferry the Millwall fans back to the station in Leeds city centre. They're still on camera. The police spotters are watching their every move.
The buses now are all in escort. I think it's 7 buses in total, taking all the Millwall fans back to the train station. They'll be put on one of the trains and then monitored back by British Transport Police. Hopefully then we'll be able to leave for the day.
But the video van won't be going home yet.
Bit old for that game, aren't you, mate? Bit old for that game.
Thugs have rearmed and are now throwing bricks.
I
think the missile throwing at its worst probably on the road by the wagon and the horses. There is a lot of sort of disused buildings, so there's ammunition readily available.
With the fans causing trouble on the other side of the motorway, there is still concern about danger to innocent people.
Obviously our concern is the 621 running at the side where people are doing up to 60 or 70 miles an hour. All it takes is for some idiot to throw something on the motorway and cause a serious accident.
The pelting is so ferocious, only police with armour can get near. But the CCTV van's cameras are powerful enough to capture the hooligans beyond the range of the missiles.
Got you. Watch him. Just keep your eye on him and try and...
And another one.
When he thinks we're not watching,
And this lad. Because of that vantage point, we could get a general overview of everything that was happening. Quite a few individuals spotted the van there, and a number of them put down the objects they were about to throw upon seeing the van there. There were others that obviously weren't bothered about the van and carried on throwing things at the police anyway.
They know they're being watched. Some tried to hide their faces with hoods, others attacked the van.
They're banging at the side of the van, they're actually throwing missiles at us now. Oh, there we go.
In my time, I've been bricked about 4 or 5 times. Some of my colleagues have actually had various objects thrown at them, like the most strange one being a chest of drawers.
Will you zoom in on him, Paul? Who are you looking at there? That's the one with his bottle in his hand. You're being filmed, mate. You're being filmed. Put it down.
I've caught about 10 to 12 people throwing bottles and bricks at the police. They're still at it now. This lad here, look here, I didn't quite get his face there. I've got good facials of about 10 to 12 people throwing bottles or bricks at police.
6:30 at Leeds train station. It's the last leg for the Millwall fans, but the cops are taking no chances.
By the sounds of it, the Millwall fans have already got off the bus. There's a bit of chanting on the platform, but they've got a long journey ahead, so hopefully it'll be nice and quiet for them.
When they were going home on the train, I was relieved, not only for myself and my staff, but to see that for people that's never seen anything like that before, it can be quite frightening. So relief when they're on the way home, definitely.
Back across the motorway from the stadium, trouble is winding down.
Once they go over that motorway bridge, we know they're on the back foot and they will disperse. We might have a little bit of sporadic disorder as we get rid of them, but largely, the further away from you get from the ground, the less likely it is for them to kick off.
With few arrests made, they think they're safe.
As they're unsuspecting, as they think it's all over, they're walking back, they haven't got the faces covered. So at a later date, we can sit down, we can have a look at who's thrown things, look at who's walking back, put faces to clothing, and then we can go forward with identifying them, and then we go down the lines of court.
The police can go home knowing they've achieved their main objective for the day, keeping apart the two sets of fans.
Police point of view, I don't think the sort of two opposing groups ever got within sort of distance to shake hands, never mind do anything else. From a CCTV point of view, you couldn't ask for anything better, and the quantity and quality that we've got will show no doubt in time in court.
Coming up, high-tech detective work as police trawl the CCTV footage for evidence.
We don't come to the table with suspects and we think they've done something. We know they've done something.
And pay the thugs a post-match visit. It's 2 months after hooligans rocked Elland Road, where police were attacked with missiles and innocent football fans were caught up in scenes of violence and mindless vandalism.
Now the windows are going through by people on board the bus.
There was pre-match disorder around the stadium, there was disorder inside the stadium, and then there was major disorder after the game, which lasted up to an hour.
Right, keep moving!
It's starting to go crazy here.
I've been working football matches at Leeds United for 24 years now, and that is the biggest confrontation that I've seen in that time.
Just a handful of arrests were made on match day, but everything was filmed on CCTV by a video van.
I'm going to start bricking in a minute, aren't we?
The police helicopter.
It's starting to go crazy here.
And trained police spotters.
We want people to know we're there. We want people to know that if they do anything wrong, they're going to get filmed. And we want people to be put off. And that's all part and parcel of the evidence gathering.
Now the detective work begins. They are painstakingly trawling through the footage frame by frame, identifying suspects to build a case against them.
That there is every camera that covered the game, whether it be evidence gathering cameras, the Leeds watch cameras, somewhere in the total of about 53 hours of footage to look through.
the spotters, the evidence gatherers, have identified this guy here in a hoodie.
This youth here is throwing stones, the odd bottle at police lines. So again here I've identified him as the grey hooped hoodie. I'll capture the image of him. We'll be able to take from that still, put him into a poster, and when it goes out to the press, I'm very confident that he will be recognised. He probably thinks he's quite clever throwing stones at the police. He does it week in, week out. But the difference is, he's come to do it at a football match. He's on camera. He's on camera, we can get the evidence, we can prosecute him.
Well, the police work isn't finished even when the last supporter has made it home, and over the next few weeks there's plenty here to keep the officers busy, not least sorting out the thugs from the majority of ordinary football supporters out for just a good time. And as for the thugs, well, the CCTV footage is crucial for convictions.
Dawn. The hooligans are sleeping soundly. They think it's all over. But at Police HQ, officers are taking this one into extra time.
The first subject that we've identified, we initially had him as grey hooped hoodie.
The CCTV images have been circulated and the police know their suspects' names and where they live. It's time to blow the final whistle.
We don't come to the table with suspects and we think they've done something. We know they've done something, and we've got video clips and evidence that prove what they've done.
I think the important thing with football and hooligans is to have a good intelligence network, plan well, and try and keep one step ahead of them.
These arrests are in complete contrast to the ones made on the day of the match. Because they have CCTV evidence, officers can calmly and quietly bring suspects to book when they're least expecting it.
So I'll give this number
PC Falkingham is after the grey hoop-topped hoodie, one of the new generation of football hoodlums, influenced by those who've gone before them, now in their 30s and 40s.
Morning. After Ryan, is he in? Can I come in? A lot of them that are coming through now in the late teens, early 20s. Yeah, because he's been arrested. They come along to the games, they get to know these people, they go drinking in the same pubs and basically hang around with them.
Doing filming, that's all.
It's like passing it down the line to the younger generation.
There were 14 arrests made on match day and a further 29 arrests in the following 6 months, all using CCTV footage as evidence.
He was involved in throwing missiles at police. It's been captured on CCTV and evidence gathering videos, and he's been identified from the videos as being responsible.
The hooped hoodie got a 6-year football banning order and 4 months in prison. The bill for policing the football match came to £90,000. 12 police officers were injured in the disorder, fortunately not too seriously. Next time Leeds play Millwall, the police and CCTV will be on high alert once again.
CCTV captures everything. We want to send a message out to the minority of people, the hooligan element, that they will be arrested, they will be prosecuted, and they will get banning orders keeping them away from football.